Hello, all sentient beings, and welcome to the Transmissions Podcast, where we talk all Hasbro, Takara, and third-party Transformers! This week, we go in-depth talking all about Hasbro's Fan First Tuesday Legacy reveals. Were the leaks correct? You'll have to listen and find out. Today is Wednesday, April 20th, 2022, and this is episode 42 of Transmission.
Welcome to Transmissions, the podcast that hopes our fellow collectors in Germany are happy now having access to Hasbro Pulse with local shipping. Daryl cries in Canadian. I'm your host, Charles, aka Big C, and I'm joined by the excellent Transmissions team. Jeremy, aka Yakko.
Guten Tag.
Creator, producer, and star of Empire of Rust, editor Mike.
How do you cry in Canadian?
Ask Daryl. And Daryl, the Cybertronian beast.
Oh, no way. That's probably the best I can do for that. It's really sad. I'm trying to come up with an East Coaster accent. I don't know. I got to listen to my uncle. My uncle's a newfie, so I gotta talk to him for a minute, and then I can do it for a bit.
It's just the sound of like a beer spilling. Maple syrup.
I've known my uncle my whole life, and I still don't know what the hell he's talking about when I speak to him. I can't understand a word he's saying. Let's talk Transformers.
Thank you, Daryl. So we can finally start the show.
So wait, if I don't say it, then I can just go on a tangent and we'll just be here forever.
Yeah, well, it's too late. You already
They're
said
still
it.
Editing. So. You're only hurting the people listening live on Discord.
But that's like the what those politicians in the U.S. have, right? Those whatever
the
they
filibuster.
Yeah, that.
You
Can I do that?
You filibuster the podcast.
Yeah, unfortunately, it doesn't work like that anymore.
Oh,
we got rid of the filibuster. Unlike the U.S. Senate, we got rid of the filibuster. So that's not going to work.
That's politics talk with Daryl.
As always, we start off the show after we talk politics by thanking our Donatreons, those lovely people who support us on Patreon and PayPal. We really appreciate all you folks continuing to support us. It really helps us out and helps us keep the show going. If you'd like to become a supporter, just go to transmissionspodcast.com/support. That's where you can sign up either on Patreon or PayPal.
I would like to become a supporter.
You already are.
Oh, man. This day is full of surprises, isn't it?
You might want to, just check your finances there, Mike. You might have some hidden bills you're not aware of.
$3,000. What is this?
You forgot to uncheck the box.
Level.
You forgot to uncheck the box where we just we keep charging you after continuously afterwards. You thought it was a one-time donation, but we have a secret little box on there that you had to check to not make reoccurring payments.
I knew something went wrong somewhere.
Well, if you are a Donatreon like Mike, you can get access to all of our bonus Empire of Rust episodes, and that is our Transformers Live Play RPG podcast. And we have many uncut bonus episodes that come out a week before the regular episode drops on the free Empire of Rust feed. And this week, we have Empire of Rust episode 74, Wild Ones, a Con Clone story. And that is exclusive to our Donatrons. It's already out. It should be available if you're on the Patreon. and you can listen to it right now. And it is an extended version of episode 74, which will not be out on the free feed until next Monday. So enjoy your week early bonus episode and don't spoil it for everyone else.
Wait, you're saying I get access to the bonus episodes too?
Yes, you get access to the bonus episodes that you created. Yes, you do. Congratulations.
You get extra early access.
Yeah. Hope you enjoy that.
Wow, this thing's paying for itself.
And for all our regular Empire of Rust listeners, we do have a special treat for you this week. So the previously exclusive Donatreon bonus, that was our Empire of Rust Transmissions crossover. This is the second crossover we did that we released last fall. Now it is available on the free feed for everyone to hear. So if you go to transmissionspodcast.com/rust, that's where you can get that. And that is also out. It came out this Monday as well. So part one of this crossover is it's a 6-part story of that we produced. And part one is called The Rabbit, the Winch, and the Wardrobe. No, The Rabbit, the Winch, and the Wardrobe. Yeah. That's right.
I bet you can guess what I was...
The classic book.
Yeah, there you go. I think you can guess what I was going for with that.
Yes.
Subtle.
What episode of Star Wars was that?
Different theme, Daryl. Different theme.
Try to keep up, man.
That's one of those like novels that you didn't make it into the movies or anything.
Oh,
Extended universe.
Gotcha. So we'll have so for all our regular Empire of Rust listeners, you'll be getting episodes every week for the next 6 weeks. So you'll be getting the regular episodes of starting next week with 74, and then on the off weeks you'll be getting the bonus episodes for continuing the 6-part Transmissions Empire of Rust side story. So take a listen. And now let's jump into our toy news.
All right, I guess this is me this week. We had a Fan First Tuesday live stream last week, and we're going to go over everything that they talked about. I'm going to give kind of a quick recap of the stream before we get into some of the reveals. Hosting the stream was Rachel from marketing, Isabella from franchise marketing, and our boy Mark from the design team.
Oh yeah.
And congratulations on Mark. He said he just recently got married. So
no shit.
Awesome. Yeah.
Good job, Mark.
Right on.
So, we're going to start off. They showed a video. We knew something was coming from Robeson. And I think we speculated it was a Bumblebee and we were all wrong. They announced as a companion to their $750 Optimus Prime that automatically transforms. Now there is a $750 trailer that also automatically transforms. So they showed a video of it. It actually will go from trailer mode and it'll open up and then stand up and be at like repair bay mode. And also there's a roller who will roll out. It has, I believe it's Spike, like a little Spike figure in it. And that roller is actually remote controllable from a smartphone. So it's really cool. There's 18 servo motors in it and 60 microchips and over 2,000 components in it. So, I mean, I think we were all really impressed with the work for the Optimus Prime, like the cab part of it. It justifies the price in the amount of work, but it's such a high price, more expensive than Unicron. But this looks like it's a nice companion for it. So I look forward to when Daryl's friend buys one and then we can show it off on the show. I guess why don't we just stop here because the next part is like some media stuff. So I want to talk about what you guys think of this, Daryl. Since you have the Prime, like in in your room. It's like, your friend is kind of like letting you hold on to it. What do you think of this trailer edition?
Well, it's cool. I'll give it that. A transforming trailer is something that, I mean, it's something that's been like Prime's trailer always transforms, into something. Repair bay, it has roller, it does something usually. Making it an auto transforming thing with a roller that you control with a smartphone, for me that's too much. This trailer itself being a $750 trailer is ridiculous. Yeah, it's huge. It's what, 2 feet long? Like it's like the thing's enormous, right? So it's
3 feet long.
It's massive.
Yeah.
So I'll give it to him on size, but holy crap, is this thing expensive? It's a plastic box that has some servos in it, and it has some plastic and some rubber for the tires, and some circuitry for the remote controls. But $750, like either they lost money on the Optimus Prime because there was way more motors than that, or they're gouging us on the trailer. One or the other. And this thing is just it's way too expensive. I cannot imagine that this thing is going to sell as well as the Optimus Prime did. I don't think you mentioned it, but they did announce that they're going to the Roboson is going to put the Optimus back into production so that they can do like a second run or a third run of it, I guess.
Yeah.
They already did a second run, I think. So to feed the supply for people who might want to get both at the same time,
Yeah. Well, no one's going to get the trailer unless they had the cab.
Of course, right? So
yeah.
There's no discount if you get both pieces. They're both $750. It's a $1,500 freaking toy, right? And that's expensive. So this trailer it's way too expensive. I can see maybe if it was $250, right? That would be fine in my book. Let's do that. It makes it a lot more palatable, but at the price point that it is, this is a really tough pill to swallow. Because it logistically does nothing. It stands up and folds out. That's it. And it's a trailer. You need roller. Can you use roller and Prime at the same time? Can you drive them both separately? You only have one smartphone. Can you do them both at the same time? I highly doubt it. Right? So if I buy both of these and I want to drive them both at the same time, can I?
But you have to have a friend over and they can pick one and you can take the other.
But I don't have any friends because I bought a $1,500 Optimus Prime. I'm just saying it's way too expensive. It's cool, but come on, guys, you're gouging us here.
All right. Mike, what are your thoughts on this trailer that Daryl says they're gouging us? You agree?
So I do a bit. Yeah. I mean, that is a tough pill to swallow completely. I will say that, like, technically this is really kind of neat thing. This is a really neat piece. The fact that it does kind of stand up on its own, that balances on its own, and it is like this, this transforming trailer object. The fact that it is what it is kind of cool, and I do like that. But I do completely agree with Daryl on this, that it's, while cool, it's not $750 cool. I can't just. That's more than a Unicron. That's the same amount as the actual transforming Prime figure, wasn't it? Like, yeah. So, if I had the transforming Prime, which I don't, but if I did, I could justify maybe an additional 200 for the trailer, maybe. But beyond that, no, it's. I have a feeling that what they're doing is they're just kind of preying on the completist kind of thing for a lot of collectors, and no one wants a Prime without a trailer. So people are going to suck it up. If they bought the Roboson, if they bought the cab, people are going to suck it up and deal with it, and they're just going to do it. And I don't think they're going to be happy about it. I think it's going to leave a bad taste in people's mouths. And I don't see this as being a really positive move for them long term. Because I can tell you that if I bought that cab back in a while ago, and now I have to drop the same amount for the trailer, that's a little. It's too much. It's just too much. I like what they did. I like how they approached the trailer. I like the remote controlled roller. I like all that. It's cool. I really do like it, but not for the same amount as Prime. It does. If I bought it, I don't think I'd feel good about it.
Right. All right. Charles, what are your thoughts? Are you kind of agreeing that's too much? I mean, you're an engineer, so you have to appreciate that.
I mean, I definitely appreciate the technology. I mean, we're living in the future here, where we've got actual, transforming robotic toys that represent these Transformers. That's really cool. I mean, but I agree. I totally agree with both Daryl and Mike. I mean, I really don't understand the thinking behind making this your second transforming or converting figure. You can't call it a transforming figure. I mean, definitely.
I'm sorry. I got a little cough here, guys. I mean, I might need to go on mute for a minute.
I mean, for me, it's weird because like Daryl and Mike said, the only people who are buying this are the people who already have the Optimus Prime. So you're immediately already limiting your market in that you're only going to sell to people who already have the cab figure. You're not going to get 100% of those people to plunk down another $750 for this thing. A lot of people would like to see a different figure. I mean, with making a different character, you at least have the opportunity to capture new people, and some fraction of the people who already bought the Prime cab are going to get another figure just because, they want to add to their collection. I mean,
right, like we speculated with Bumblebee, that would be a logical next step,
right? I mean, or even like a Decepticon, like maybe a Megatron tank, and the Megatron tank transforms, and they can like shadow box with each other. Like if you put the Prime and the Megatron next to each other, they can have a little fight or something. I mean, that would be something you could probably find some people to spend another $750 for if they had a Megatron figure and the two figures interacted. It just seems weird that they went to the trailer as their next figure. And I know this, I mean, beyond the price tag and the, just all the other issues, I still hate the little Spike figure with no features. It's really unsettling that the thing has no face. It's like you're plunking down this, almost $1,000, and your little figure can't have, features on it. That's a really minor nitpick, but everything else is, it's too much. It's too expensive. It's not something you can buy standalone. So it's really weird that they'd go to this next. And I mean, I don't have the Prime cab. I mean, Daryl, ask your friend, ask the other Charles if he's gonna pick this up.
I will not ask him to buy this.
No, I said ask him if not. I didn't say tell him to buy it. I said ask him if he's going to pick it up.
I'm going to ask him if he got an email about it. That's what I'll ask him. But it's the interesting pieces that I think about while I'm looking at these pictures and stuff is, is there a button that on the remote that where you can push and it'll find home for the trailer, connecting the roller to the trailer looks like something you're going to have to do by hand, unless there's a button where you can actually say, connect to the trailer. Because there's this little piece on the back of the roller that, flips up so that it makes height. And, I get that. It's, the roller's a small vehicle and it needs to get, you got to do something so it gets height. But to have to connect that by hand, now you're getting into you're defeating the purpose of this being, completely automated, right? If there's a button that says connect to trailer, right? Well, now the roller can, drive around. It'll find, if it finds, the connection point on the trailer. Now you're talking about something that's kind of cool, right? If the roller's on the other side of the room, it'll drive over, find the trailer, connect, and then you can drive off with it. Right.
Yeah, I mean, they don't think they mentioned that, but that would be really cool.
That would be very cool. But that would have been something they'd mentioned because it's a really cool feature if it was possible. But this looks like something that, you're going to have to connect with your hands. And, for something that's, auto, everything. And this, it just, it's doesn't look like any fun.
I don't know. I think that it would be able to connect automatically somehow. Maybe not just like a button or something that says, hey, connect. But I think there would be something like that, especially considering the cost. Like the transformation of the trailer, I actually think is really, really neat and honestly really amazing. I can't imagine they wouldn't have included some feature like that on it.
I don't know. I mean, it definitely looks like there is a button to open and close the doors at the back, right? There's motors and there's hinges and stuff that are connected to the doors. So that's neat. Right. So you can open and close the doors with a button. Cool. The ramp, is that something that can be pulled in and out with a button as well? I don't know. Driving the roller car or the roller in and out of the back of the trailer, is that something that, it'll do on its own, or are you going to have to aim it every time? Right.
Looking at the pictures.
Yeah.
It looks like the way it connects to the trailer is something that would be automated from roller. Like it looks like a piece goes up to make a pretty thick connection.
Yeah. That's what I was saying. There is something on the roller that you have to make height for it. But I'm looking at the controller buttons themselves, and I don't see anything on here for that. There is something on the controller that looks like the Prime with but that might be just to transform the trailer itself. We're gonna have to see more of this. But
I'm sure we'll have videos of people that do get it in hand and mess with it.
But
I think
it's far too expensive.
Sorry, I'm kind of guessing that there's going to be like a significant update to the app that's controlling the cab to allow you to control like the trailer and like the roller as well. So like, I think everything will be integrated. It just makes sense.
I know there's been an update to the app at least once. I've done it.
All right. Well, let's move on. Before I get into this, do we want to do the media stuff in alt mode? Because I notice we don't have it in the dock.
We can skip we can put the media stuff in alt mode. Yeah.
Okay. I feel like that would make more sense.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Skip down here.
You get closer to your mic, Jeremy. You're still kind of quiet.
I'm sorry. All right. How's that?
Your tone doesn't suggest you are sorry at all.
Yeah, that was sarcasm. All right. Now let's get into the legacy reveals. We got a number of interesting figures here to show off. The first one they talked about was Wild Ryder, which we knew was coming. There have been leaks for a lot of this stuff, but Wild Rider's another Stunticon, and Mark showed it off. I think it looks really cool. The paint job, like the decals, looks really cool. And the head sculpt, I think they did a great job with it here. He showed, well, I guess he didn't show the combination stuff yet. That's going to come later. But then the next thing they showed off was the next one they showed off was Legends Knockout, which I saw on Twitter. I think it was Proto Man that posted that we should have seen this coming, because essentially this robot mode for Knockout is the robot mode from the recent Wreckers comic. It is a very G1 boxy type of car with, I don't know. I think I've seen a lot of people not liking the head sculpt. I think head sculpt is fine personally, but I'm not one of the like mega Knockout fans. But it is very much the alt mode and the robot mode from that recent Wreckers comic. And I think it looks okay. But like I said, I'm not a mega Knockout fan. The next one we have is Tarantulas, which I think they said was a completely different mold from Black Arachnia. And they showed them side by side, and you can tell it's like definitely beefier, probably a partial, I'm guessing, but it looks really cool. It's got a lot of texture to give like that tarantula, hair like feeling. I think the colors on Tarantulas are spot on, like the purples and the golds. So it's a very good looking alt mode, and like the robot mode is straight out of the show. And then we have Legacy Elita 1, which the colors, it's kind of a hybrid between G1, like the cartoon coloring, and the Netflix coloring. It's got a lot of pinks, but also a lot of darker reds. And the car, I can't remember who people are saying that it's supposed to,
Minerva,
like a remold will Minerva. Yeah. So a remold of this will be likely Minerva. It's a very interesting car design. It's like got lots of curves, lots of like a little bit of boxiness to it, but I don't know. It's very interesting. It's not really a design I remember seeing anywhere else in Transformers, but I think it looked really, it's a really good looking robot mode, and the alt mode I think looks fun. And like I said, it'll be a nice remold for people that like Minerva. So, get those four, and then one that surprisingly didn't leak. We got a G2 G-Axis, and this thing looks great. They actually called out, the last one they put out was in the Thrilling 30. That was a remold of Armada Starscream. And this one is completely like a completely new mold just for him. And I think it looks really cool. You get the like lots of designs from the comics with like the wires in the legs that are exposed, the head sculpt with the little mask thing covering them. I think the alt mode looks really cool, and he's got a G2 Decepticon logo on him. So this one looks really nice. You got the colors are straight out of the 90s. And then they're re-releasing Siege Soundwave, but without all of the damage, paint apps, and it's just a straight Siege Soundwave. I'm not sure really who was looking for this at this point after getting like the Kingdom Soundwave, or was it Netflix? Whichever one. I think it was Kingdom is like a really, really good Soundwave.
Netflix one.
Netflix.
Oh, it is Netflix. Okay. Yeah. But I don't know who was looking for the Siege, but if you were, you're going to be able to get it pristine. And then before we get into the last big one, we have Blitzwing, which we've all talked about with the leaks. So, I don't know if there's much more to say. It's exactly what we thought it was. But before we get into the last thing, let's talk about these. Charles, let's start with you. What are your thoughts on all these new Legacy figures?
I was pleasantly surprised that we did not get a lot of leaks here. Like the G-Axis. I mean, we had seen the toy listings that said a G-Axis was coming, but no, I had not seen this before, and I'm very happy because, I wasn't expecting a completely original mold for G-Axis. G2 comics are, some of my favorite comics, so getting this original character from G2, having the box art call him out as G2 Universe G-Axis, I mean, this is a must buy for me, this G-Axis figure. I love this, and I'm really happy to see this. I did want to note that the knockout in the stream, they mentioned the knockout is a retool of the Studio Series 86 Jazz figure, which is interesting that they
I forgot that
they took from there. So that's neat that they were able to reuse that and create a Prime figure out of that.
Yep. I'm just noticing something. You mentioned the G2 Universe on the box art for that. For Knockout, it says Prime Universe. So are they going with like a multiverse here of all the different, shows or lines?
I think so.
It's just like Legacy is bringing it all together. I think that's really cool.
Yeah. I think, I like that. Did they say, is Tarantulas Beast Wars Tarantulas? Beast Wars Universe Tarantulas?
I didn't see the box art for that.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. They don't have that. Everyone knows Beast Wars is G1.
We're not going to have that argument here. I am less excited about the alt mode for Elita 1. Her car mode looks too much like a 70s car to me. I'm not a fan of that. And I'm not a fan of the hat on the car mode. It just seems weird to me. I don't know why. I don't know why her hat is on in the car mode.
Well, I've seen apparently Minerva has a light bar that would probably go there.
But I do like the robot mode for Elita 1. I think that's a really nice Elita 1. But yeah, that car mode looks really ugly to me. It's interesting to see this wave is completely Decepticons. Like, except for Elita 1, it's all Decepticons, which I think, or bad guys, I should say, since Tarantulas is a Predacon. But that's cool that we have a wave that's mostly bad guys. So I like that. Wild Rider is good. We got to see a lot more of the Stunticon, so I guess we'll talk about that later. I'll save my discussion for later, but. Yeah, Tarantulas looks good. Looks like it'll fit right in your Kingdom shelf with the other redone Beast Wars characters. And these are good. I think these are all pretty good hits, and props to the team for keeping most of them under wraps, except for Blitzwing. So
I think if you're gonna have leaks, try to make it one that is going to get a lot of commentary, like the Blitzwing with the way the plane part sticks out, and then it's kind of just distraction. Let people talk about that while you have all this other stuff.
Yeah. And
Mike. Oh, sorry.
My last thing. I also agree that I don't know why they were re-releasing the Siege Soundwave. They should have just released the Earth or Netflix Soundwave, and made it like G1 Soundwave or something. I don't know, but yeah.
Yeah. All right. Mike, what were your thoughts on this reveal?
As someone who spent like $80 to get that Netflix Soundwave, I am fine with them not re-releasing it. So for the most part, I actually have pretty positive opinions on a lot of the stuff here. And I will be honest, like a lot of it, I am going to end up passing on because it's just not for me. I do like the look of Knockout. It's a really kind of neatly designed figure. I do like the robot mode. The car mode is okay. It's a little nondescript, a little generic, but that's okay. I mean, you're going to end up keeping most of these figures in robot mode anyway. So I mean, I get that's where most of the design considerations go. So Knockout, yeah, Knockout's cool. I have no problem with them. Who else here? So the Elita one, I don't really care about the Elita one, but I am looking forward to the hopefully inevitable Minerva repaint out of that, because I think in the Minerva colors this would look pretty badass, and I'm definitely down for that. So that's cool. So yeah, Elita one, whatever, it's fine. But I'm certainly looking forward to what's coming up after it. Who else am I missing here? Jaxus and Tarantulas. Yeah, Tarantulas and Wild Rider too. So Tarantulas, cool. Not a problem. Not for me, but it's a cool looking figure, and I'm glad the Beast Wars fans are going to be able to get to get this guy. So I like that. That's awesome. Wild Rider. I think I'm a bit less on top of Wild Rider. See, the problem is like whenever you make one of a combiner limb, you're in for all of it. I think Daryl can probably speak to this as well with when he started buying the Studio Series Devastator stuff. It's like once you're in for one, it's like you're not just in for one, you're in for the whole set.
No one buys it just for the individual figure.
Yeah, exactly. So in both modes, he does look really cool. I do like the look, but I also don't need to replace my Menasor again. So while it looks cool, it's certainly a pass for me. And Jaxus. All right, Charles, I'm sorry. I can appreciate the comic accuracy and the comic design of this, but I still just don't like the look of the jet at all. It's such a goofy looking jet that I can't get behind it. The robot mode, it looks kind of cool, no problem. It looks comic accurate, and like I'm okay with that. But yeah, that jet mode is just goofy looking. I can't get behind that.
I don't disagree with you, Mike, but my love of the G2 comic overwhelms that. I mean, it's definitely a janky looking jet, but I mean, unfortunately, Alex Milne was just a kid in the early 90s, so he didn't get to design the artwork for G-Axis in the G2 comic, and so they didn't, it wasn't intricately designed, so they had a really cool alt mode that turned into the robot mode, unfortunately.
That's fair. That's fair. And I can't shit on anyone who really likes this or really wants it. I mean, like I said, robot mode looks cool. Just that jet is, woof, that's a jet, all right.
It's a spaceship. Though. It's not a jet. Spaceship. What? Space
jet.
It's a space jet.
Yeah.
Everything from that big bright nose to those neon green wings. Oh, it is so G2.
It is early 90s.
Oh, yeah.
Daryl, let's finish up with you. What were your thoughts on this part of the releases?
Yeah, there's a good chunk of them that I'm into here. So I do really like the Knockout. I think it's a really great remold of that Jazz figure, and a great update to the Knockout figure, putting him into a G1 body as they are doing with the Legacy line. So he's right in there with Bulkhead now for Prime figures that have been G1ified. The Tarantulas
and RC.
RC has, got it done as well, right? I guess, but it's a motorbike, so whatever. It's, motorbikes are motorbikes. I can't really tell if there's been a modern motorbike that's been made in an 80s style motorbike. I can't really tell the difference. Not a motorbike guy. The Tarantulas is it looks good. I'll be passing on that just on the fact that I don't buy modern Beast Wars toys. I think I have an original Tarantulas, which is looks a lot like this. So, but the Elita one, I appreciate that they are doing it, but I'm with Charles. I cannot get behind this alt mode. It is just gnarly. So yeah, I just, for whatever reason, I'm glad that Elita 1 is not sharing the body with Starscream anymore. I think that that was a terrible choice. I appreciate the fact that she's getting her own, figure. And it's an original mold. It's not a shared thing with RC or anything like that. And if they're doing a Minerva, it's going to be, Elita 1's getting it done first. And, RC's not sharing anything with, it's somebody else is first up. Right. And I really, I appreciate that about this mold. But this alt mode is jank, man. And I've seen the meme going around where they've kind of painted it green and turned it into the Homer Simpson mobile. I see it, I can definitely see what what they're saying.
Brilliant meme.
The rest, the Wild Rider, I'm into. It's easily the best looking Wild Rider that's been produced since, G1, as far as the alt mode goes. Anyway, that Ferrari that it turns into is just a beautiful looking car. And they've done it really well here. The bot mode, he looks good. The head sculpt is great. And yeah, so I've gone ahead and I've already pre-ordered this one through GameStop here in Canada. And then the other one here of the two, so G-Axis, I'm also in agreement with Charles. I heavily read the G2 comics because after the I had gotten my fill of the G1 comics after they ended. The G2 one started and I was reading them live as they came out, and they were crazy violent, and I loved it. I was so into it, and maybe that's what I want out of my current Transformers comics. Maybe I just want them to go back to the G2 violence. Listen up, whoever gets the license next, just make them violent, make them G2. So yeah, this G-Axis, it definitely looks exactly like that, the comic book interpretation. And I do have that Thrilling 30 G-Axis. It's up here. I'm looking at it right now. It's on my wall. And Yeah, it's a garbage toy too. It's remolded on that Armada Starscream, and it's just it's a placeholder name, but I guess they really didn't have to worry about the name G-Axis, getting taken by anybody else. It's just very unique.
It is a made up name, just for Transformers.
Yeah, but I'll agree with Mike. The spaceship mode is kind of garbage. But I mean, Charles would be a better one to answer this. I really don't remember him transforming into his spaceship mode in the comic all that much. He was kind of the mad scientist of the series, so he was really just kind of inside spaceships, doing his bidding.
Yeah, he did do it a couple of times, but it was pretty rare. It was not every issue.
Yeah,
I mean, well, he didn't have a toy back then, right?
No.
So why would they do it?
Yeah.
No.
And yeah, we've talked about the Blitzwing, but since the last show, I have gone ahead and pre-ordered him as well, and the G-Axis. So of the ones
Nice.
we've discussed so far, I've pre-ordered those 3.
Awesome. All right. Well, the last toy here we have to show off is the Commander class Motor Master, and they started off with a video from Takara designer Takio Ijima, who worked on the toy, and he basically kind of talked about how what he was trying to achieve by making it close to the animation model, and how the robot mode height is equivalent to Optimus, but it's looks a lot more powerful just because he's Decepticon combiner. And then we see the actual pictures. We knew this was coming. This was another leak, but I think this thing looks just amazing. His trailer can be a base, and then also it is kind of like what we were talking about, I think last week, about the it's kind of a skeleton, but it doesn't work the way we thought. Basically, say the leg piece that was Wild Rider goes into. You take that leg piece off, and you click Wild Rider into it, and then you attach it. And I think that's a really cool way of doing it. And then they showed off something neat. They show off something neat with drag strip, because that's the other limb that's been released, where you attach drag strip to the piece, and then it triggers something on drag strip that will separate the vehicle mode into 2 pieces. So you have the arm can move in the combiner mode, and essentially it separates at the elbow joint. And I just found that was really cool, and really something I haven't seen before in Transformers engineering. So in all, I think this Minosaur is going to look really cool. But just what they showed off here with the Motor Master, it's a really, in my opinion, having never had a Minosaur or any of the Stunticons before, I found that this Motor Master was really impressive. So Daryl, let's start with you this time. Since you are a big combiner guy, what were your thoughts on the Motor Master and the looks of Minosaur as it is right now?
Mm-hmm. Yes. Many people don't know that I am a giant man made up of many smaller men.
Yes.
I knew it. Always suspected.
So, the Minosaur Motor Master, 2-pack here. You're getting two giant robots in one box. So I have pre-ordered this as well, as you can probably guess from the previous pre-orders that I've done. The back of the box gives away a lot of things here. The fact that Motor Master, the look of him is really cool. I'm really into the fact that he looks great all on his own, and is essentially is completely made up of just the cab of the truck. I really like that. The rest of Menasor is the trailer, and that's really cool. Now, what we kind of surmised last episode was when we were looking at the front of the box pictures, is that just at the front of the trailer at the top, I was looking and we kind of thought, what are those ports there? Those kind of look like connection ports, and they are, so they are the tops of the thighs, or I guess the bottoms of the thighs that connect to the legs. So if you're looking at this, kind of base mode that they have, they are, the bottoms of the thighs connect to the tops of the legs, and he'll assemble into Menasor with that. A lot of people have kind of gone and looked at this picture and have seen, well, hey, these connections at the tops of the legs really look like, Combiner Wars pegs. So, maybe we're going to be able to swap Combiner Wars limbs into this, this slot. So, if you really don't like the limbs that come with, Legacy, maybe you can put, your Combiner Wars limbs in there. I don't know, but, whatever.
Yeah. They didn't mention that, but that would be a nice discovery.
It does appear to be Combiner Wars limbs, and that's something that we kind of guessed last episode, is because those ports at the top of the trailer there, they definitely look Combiner Warsy, and so yeah, it definitely looks like that's a possibility. The look of Menasor, he's looks like Hasbro's taking a page out of the third party world, where the body is made up of one giant piece of, transformable plastic, that being the trailer, and then everything else just plugs into it. So you've got the arms are being able to detach, and we've talked about this in previous episodes, because we've known about Dragstrip, and we've seen pictures of him for quite some time now. We've known that he breaks into two, and he's going to connect in two different areas to kind of make up the outside of the arm. Now, the leg, so Wild Rider here, what we really didn't know is how he's going to kind of plug into the leg. This shows us here is that he's really just going to plug into the back of it. And for me, my personal tastes as far as Menasors go, I really don't like the way that looks. I much prefer to be able to see the car on the front. At least if you're going to see the back of the car, or the underside of the car from the front, and then you can kind of maybe flip a hood, the front of the car over. I don't know. I want to see more car. I'd much rather see that than, some big chunk of plastic. It just, it seems like a waste to tack the limb bots onto the back and kind of hide them. But that's the way that they're doing it with this.
The way it looks, like, I'm wondering if that whole bottom piece can turn around when the car is attached. But so, like, if you don't have a vehicle there, you have like that generic looking leg.
Well, you could, but the toe cap there, that purple toe, that's definitely the front of the foot. So, yeah. I get it. And that's a way a lot of the especially the third party companies, it's all been animation accurate. And that's the way the animation has been. The cars are all tacked onto the back of the leg, and that's just the way it looks. And if you look at the G1 toy, you see the underside of the car is facing out, facing front anyway. And, it's personal preference. I just prefer it to look different. I want to see more car for me. And that's the way I like it. As far as Motormaster goes, he doesn't appear to make up a lot of the front of Menasor at all. So he's going to be very similar to the way that like Zeta Toys has done their combiners, where, the front of the combiner, like the front facing portion of the combiner, is all made up of, extra stuff, which is all looking to be in the trailer here. And you're just going to kind of plug Motormaster into the back to kind of fill in the empty space, which is, we've talked about it before. I feel it's kind of cheating, but I mean, this is, more of a pet peeve, I think, of Charles's, but I think it's the entire front chest and, the front of the combiner here of Menasor is a faux, chest area. Like it's the whole front of him is faux, because it's just being made up of the trailer, where, you'd like Motormaster to be able to make up some of that instead of just being hidden in the back. But, we really don't have any kind of transformation here to see what is and what isn't hidden. I'd really hope that at least the head of Menasor is inside of the Motormaster figure somewhere. So, it's needed to complete the combiner, but, I won't really know until that's kind of, we see some kind of transformation. But all in all, I like it. I've put down a pre-order for this. Like I said, there's been a lot of reaction online as far as the price of this thing, because it's jumped up quite a bit. As far as me here in Canada, it's always been, these Commander class things have always been over $100. So, sorry about your luck there in the US, but these things are getting expensive. So, yeah, they've always been expensive here. You're just catching up to us, and they're getting out of reach. The
Menasor is $85 US.
Is that all?
So that is, yeah.
That seems cheap.
Well, Mike, what are your thoughts on Menasor and Motormaster?
I think this is an elegant solution for what was a really difficult kind of scale problem in G1. It was always weird that Motormaster was the same size as Prime, even though he transformed with his trailer and his cab is his feet. And it felt so off. And this solution, I think, is probably the best that we could get for something like this, where the cab is the robot and then the trailer is the combining bits and pieces and what have you. So that's really cool. I actually really love the design of that. The actual look of Menasor, like of Motormaster, like the cab part of it, I really like that. I like the look of it. I like the look of the transformation. It looks really cool. I enjoy it. I will say that I'm not. It does feel like cheating. And you're right. It does feel like it's cheating a bit. It's not a true combiner, not the way we think of combiners, but rather just a framework that you attach a bunch of other figures to. And that feels a little cheap. It feels a little wrong. It feels like they took way too many shortcuts to get to that point. But at the same time, I do get that it is a fairly elegant solution to a very strange problem. Now, this, before going into this episode, I was 100% just, no, not gonna pick this up. But when you mentioned that it's possible that you could do some of the Combiner Wars figures because of the ports on there, I know it's not confirmed, but if that's the case, then I actually think then this goes far closer to a buy for me, far closer to hey, I think we need to get this. But I need to be able to confirm that's going to happen before putting down the $85 on it. Because that's, I'm not going to pick up Motormaster if it doesn't do that. Just like I said before, if you're in for one of the figures, you're in for all of them. That's just the way it is. You're not going to buy just one. So if he can do that, then yep, I will somehow pick this guy up. If he can't, it certainly is a pass for me. But I really do appreciate the design and the look of the figure. It is a very elegant solution to the Motormaster problem.
There's definitely no confirmation on the on that, but it would be, from what I can tell, it's only the legs, because the arms there's already it's a built-in solution for the arms, right? So
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, and I'm not a big fan of that part either, of like the splitting in half. That's I don't know. I wish there was something else they did with that part of it.
But at least it is like you put it on the arm as a whole, the vehicle mode, and then it pushes on something at the bottom of the car mode that splits it. And I can show on trips to the store exactly how that works, but I think that's a really neat engineering solution.
I agree. And like I said, it is a very interesting design for this. And I really do like the elegance and the simplicity of the design. It works really well. It just feels like it is cheating. Like, I know this is going to sound strange, but if this wasn't Menasor, but it was maybe an original character or like a new, like a new take on a character from from a show or something, I would be a lot happier about it. But the fact that it is Menasor, it's like, I don't want to replace him again. I love a lot of the design aspects of this. I really do. I don't want it to be Menasor.
Right. All right. Well, Charles, what are your thoughts on this?
Pretty much, I'm pretty much in agreement with Mike. I do find this a really cool engineering design, and it's definitely a new page for Hasbro that they've taken this approach with the combiner figure and making this kind of skeleton here, and pegging all the figures onto that. But yeah, it does feel it's combiner trickery. But it looks really good. I mean, I'll give them that. I mean, it's a cool Menasor figure. I wonder what their plans are for future combiners, because I really think Menasor is the only, like the Stunicons are the only combiner that really has this kind of weird scale issue that allows you to kind of get away with this. So I'm wondering what they do with like the Combaticons or the Protectobots or the Aerial Bots or any other combiner. And will we get like a Commander class jet that has a smaller jet that comes off? And then like, yeah, I don't know what their plans are for future combiners, but and yeah, I would like to see if the Combiner Wars ports are there in this Menasor figure. Yeah, it's a neat idea. It's a neat execution. I can't get past the the combiner fakery. I don't know.
Combiner fakery.
All right. Well, I do have one last figure here. I forgot. I was thinking that Motor Master was last, but surprisingly, they have another Shattered Glass figure that no one was expecting. Shattered Glass Ultra Magnus, which is essentially Kingdom Ultra Magnus with a new head sculpt that is like the BotCon Shattered Glass Ultra Magnus, in that it is like the Ultra Magnus helmet with like a skull face. It's a very interesting figure. They also showed off. It is also going to come with a comic with Casey Collar doing the artwork, and the black and white work or cover is just amazing looking. I don't know which number of the comic it's going to come with because the series is done, but I would guess it's 5. But this looks really cool. The colors of the figure are like red and blue and black, and it also comes with an alternate head, so you can make it Delta Magnus if you would like to go that route. So I thought that was really cool. And the weapons it comes with says are like the Laser Optimus Prime weapons for the most part. So I think that's cool. Completely didn't expect another Shattered Glass figure, and I'm interested to see how this works. I never got the Kingdom Ultra Magnus, so I don't know. I might be getting in on this. Mike, are you big on the Shatterglass stuff? Are you going to pick this up?
I actually really like the story for Shattered Glass, and I like reading the comics and the media for it, but I have no interest in the toys for it. So, I mean, it's a cool looking figure. The head sculpt is kind of badass looking. that is what it is, but yeah, it's an easy pass for me.
All right. Daryl, what about you?
Yeah, I'm in agreement with Mike. I'm probably passing on this. It's just I have 2 Ultra Magni now, and from most recent series, I've got the Kingdom one and I've got the Siege one. So yeah, I'm not a big fan of the Shattered Glass stuff either. So yeah, and did they explain the head, the alternate head? Like, I don't get that. What's with the head?
I'm not sure. I would imagine if there was another version or like another edition of the Shattered Glass story in the comics, they probably would have explained it.
I think it came from one of the Collectors Club comics.
Well, yeah. I mean, I know that's what it originally came from.
Like that head.
I don't remember that, but yeah. Right. Charles, are you gonna pick this guy up?
Nah. I am not big on the Shattered Glass guys either. I am surprised though. We did have leaks last week. We talked about potentially a Shattered Glass Blaster, and I was surprised to see that it was not Shattered Glass Blaster that came out. So, for once, the leakers got it wrong. Also, we are reviewing Shattered Glass number 5 in alt mode this week, and Ultra Magnus does make a cameo. So maybe it is issue 5 with a new cover that's coming with this figure. So
I would say that this is probably going to be a more rare cover than the others, just because if you already have issue 5, you might not go for this. But anyway, that is pretty much Fan First Friday. There was a little bit of media stuff that we'll be talking about in alt mode this week. But in terms of toys, I think this was a pretty good Fan First, or not Fan First Tuesday, not Friday. They need to have a better name, like Transformers Tuesday or something. But anyway, that is it.
All right. Well, that's all our toy discussion. So we will move on to trips to the store. This is where we show off all the awesome Transformer stuff we got this week. We do this as a video so you can see everything we got in beautiful high definition on our YouTube channel. We'll have the audio right here in the podcast so you can keep listening as we describe everything we got in loving detail. So without further ado, trips to the store.
The Transmissions Podcast will return after these messages.
All right, let's get into the show and talk about the stuff we got. Daryl, I'm going to throw it to you first.
Well, holy crap, I'm going first. I got nothing new this week. I paid some serious money for something, so hopefully that shows up. But I wanted to show off something this week that I've shown off before, and mostly it's because of what we talked about last week. We had a pretty elaborate discussion on an alt mode about Marcelo Mater and his response to some third party stuff. And I thought, you know what? I don't think I have anything from this company, but I do. This is Mech Fans Toys and their version of Omega Supreme. I didn't think this was a Mech Fans Toys figure, but it is. This is their huge dragon figure. Like this camera thing is it's backwards, and I never remember which way to go. Anyway, so this is their huge dragon figure, and it is a legend scale Omega Supreme. This is one of those figures that we were kind of talking about, where they do their own designs. Now, we did get a little piece of feedback, and we're going to probably have it in alt mode because that's where we had the discussion from a listener who wanted to tell us, they have, they do the KOs, but they also have their original designs. This is one of those original designs. And I don't have the box on me, but I do have pictures. I'm looking at them right now of the box, and I'm pretty sure the box just has more pictures of this thing on it. So it's not really using any art.
Didn't you get that at the last TFCon Chicago?
Yes, I did.
I think I remember we went back to try to get me one, and they were sold out.
Yeah, they only had the Sentinel colors ones of it. This got real popular real fast, and I was pretty happy to snag myself one. But on a Legends scale, Omega Supreme is not something that is done very often. So yeah, but so I kind of surprised myself with actually owning something from this company, because I didn't think I did. But that's it. That's all I've got to kind of re-show this week is my Omega Supreme from those bastards at Mech Fans Toys.
You should just throw it on the ground right now and just shatter it.
I should destroy it. I should just, nobody deserves it, and I should just get rid of it.
Spike that shit right now.
Yeah, I should.
Boom.
What can I do here? I can break it. Yeah.
Set up a fire pit outside and just melt it.
Yeah, I took his leg off. See, I broke it.
Congratulations. All right, I'm going to go next. I have a figure from the Generations Legacy Buzzworthy Bumblebee line. It's Autobot Blue Streak. I know the package says Silver Streak, but I'm going to call it Blue Streak because it is Blue Streak. And see, there he is. There's Legacy logo there. And yeah, you can see the box is empty because I did open it and took the figure out and played with it and transformed it. So there he is. Blue Streak. I like him.
Yeah. Is this your first experience with this mold as well?
Yeah, this is my first Datsun mold
for the Datsun.
For the War for Cybertron Datsuns. Yeah, the Kingdom / Earthrise. Yeah.
Is this the first time you actually opened a toy?
No.
I was saying how that's impressive on its own, because I think this thing has been reused and rebuilt and redone a dozen times at least right by now. So you've skipped it quite a bit.
Yeah, but it's a good figure. Yeah.
Yeah. All the flaws should have been worked out of it by now. So, yeah.
I hope so.
What spoke to you about this one that the others that didn't?
I like the colors. I like the color scheme. And it was just an opportunity. I saw there were tons of them at my Target for some reason. I don't know why we got deluged with these blue streaks, and I couldn't find any other figure at my local Target. But this guy was there, so I was like, "Oh, he looks cool. I'll try him out."
And they all still had their heads.
Yeah,
that has been a thing because there's no windows. People are reaching in and tearing the heads off and leaving.
No, I did not see that phenomenon at my local Target. So
it's a more civilized place in Pittsburgh versus Canada.
That's not happening here that I've seen. So I don't even know if they've shown up here. I think GameStop has them. So, but yeah, it's people with no window. That's a problem. People are just tearing the heads off and running away.
Yeah. That you can see the head is very intact there.
Nice.
That's what I
Very
got.
Happy for you.
All right, Mike, we'll go to you.
I would have been last if not for Jeremy's shit this week. I got a couple of things, and a couple of really, really fun things too. So, first thing I'm showing off here is Kingdom Slammer.
Nice.
Got him from BBTS after a very, very long wait, and I love the design of Slammer. Looks really cool. His tank mode is something to behold. I love it. It's a big boxy tank. It's like, yeah, this is fun. And Daryl, pissed at you because last week you showed this off, and I thought I'd be the first one on the show to show this off. Got a little cassette over here, little rewind cassette.
A rewind.
And going with rewind is, of course, Legacy Blaster or Kingdom Blaster.
Nice of them to include that with the tape.
What's up, Daryl?
I said you're the first one to open it. Mine's still unopened.
Okay, that's fair. But yeah, I found this guy at my local Target, and I mean the pre-orders at BBTS was still up, so it's like, geez, it's going to be a while before that ever shows up. So I figured, all right, you know what, I'll grab them. That's fine, no problem. I love the figures; they're pretty good. One of the few figures I actually collected from Legacy and Kingdom as well. So, or I should say Kingdom. I've only picked up a couple of figures from them. But the big thing this week is courtesy of Dinobot Maximize. I found Toy World's Infinitor.
Ooh.
The downscaled, articulated, liter-sized Fort Max figure that they put out many, many years ago that I have not seen in person since when was it? That was the TFCon in Chicago that we were all together, the 2016 one. Is that right? Is that 2018?
Yep.
I saw him back then. I didn't pick him up. Don't know why, and then never saw him after that. Even like looking for him on eBay, it was like, oof, he's not an easy guy to find, and he is just so cute, so adorable. It's like a little mini version of Fort Max. It is so nice looking, and that almost completes like all of the Fort Max figures that are out. I think that the only ones left are a couple of like the Kabaya figures. But the actual like full on like transformable figures, I pretty much have all of them. Maybe at some point soon I will put down the money for the Takara version of the Titans Return Fort Max just because the color scheme is better, but who knows? That's an investment certainly.
It's the one I have.
You like it better than the Hasbro version?
I do. Yeah. I don't have the Hasbro one. I just have the Takara one. It's the one I got originally.
Yeah, but you've seen pictures of it, so yeah. Yep. But yeah, that's what I got. A couple of Kingdom figures and a very uncommon third-party find.
Cool.
All right.
That's it.
You're done? Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Let's finish up with Jeremy.
All right. I
don't know why we're talking to Jeremy last. He's only got comics.
I don't have comics. I did not spend any money this week. So, I mean, much like Daryl. But I got a box from Hasbro directly. Hasbro sent this to me for free. So I have to say that up front.
A Hasbox?
Yeah, they had some legacy figures that they were sending out to people. So I'm sure you've probably seen these on social media. The first one I got here, I think everyone got the same thing. I got the Core Classic Iguanas. And see if this will focus. There we go. Kind of. So, I mean, it's a nice figure. The alt mode where it's a motorcycle will not stand on its own because it's a motorcycle and then there's no kickstand. But it's a neat looking figure. I think I will probably keep him like this. although, whoops, he just fell, almost fell into a glass. But he, I think my son has already claimed him and the other core class figure I'm about to show. But he's a fun figure. Surprisingly interesting transformation for a core class figure. So, I enjoy it, and the paint is really cool on him. The next one is core class Skywarp, and I guess I can put his wings out and make it a little better. But really tiny plane. I think his alt mode suffers a bit from the side. He has a faux chest, so I mean it is what it is. But I mean, out of the two, I think I do prefer Iguanas, but, core class, they are doing some interesting stuff there. So, if you want to pick it up, it is better transformations than when they first got into this small size class. So, at least it isn't just to fold the guy down and his alt mode. There is a little bit more to it.
No null rays, eh?
No null rays, which my son did point out. He was like, "Where are the blasters on his sides?" He comes with this little gun. I'm thinking, yeah. I thought that maybe they could combine like the two, like with the Iguanas weapon.
They do.
They do.
Yeah.
Well, they don't easily. I mean, unless you do it. I don't know.
Don't you need the Rodimus figure to
do you?
combine them all?
Okay. Well, I don't have that, but I don't know. It's going to be something that my son is going to lose. So there's that. The next is what?
Get the core class Starscream and paint them black, and then put them on the Skywarp.
All right.
Paint the gun null rays black and put them on the Skywarp.
All right. Well, the next thing I have is Legacy Deluxe drag strip. I was not planning on getting any of the Stunticons, but now I guess I'm going to have to.
You got to get them all.
Yeah. So he's cool. I like that his blasters will connect on the side. And it looks like the way they do it, you could have an infinite number of blasters, just have, because they're exactly the same. But I thought it looked really cool with having this double blaster there. But he's really cool. The alt mode looks really good as well. The thing that we were talking about with the combiner is on the back. This little slot here. There's something on the Minosaur arm that will put it in there, and then it'll push it, and then just. So I thought that was a really cool. Like mechanism. So I don't know. So
you push the car on you push it on whole.
Yeah.
And then the arm will stretch out and break the car apart.
Well, yeah, something will trigger this thing here, which just pushes in and releases the other part.
Okay. All right. That's
and then you
neat.
have, yeah. So, and then if you want to just display, a battle scene, you just have, pieces of drag strip. I don't know. I assume that the other arm is going to do the same thing. But it's cool. And the colors on this thing are really great. I have never had any of the Stunticons before, so this is my first Stunticon.
Wow.
Soon you'll have 5.
And he has what I thought were called ankle tilts, but according to Mark on the Hasbro string, they call these ankle rockers. So, rock out. And the last thing that I have that Hasbro sent me, I would have had more, but FedEx had, there was a second box they shipped, and it was in Indianapolis all day on Friday. So I'll have that next week. But I got Laser Optimus Prime, which I have had pre-ordered on Amazon since March and wasn't going to show up till July. So I get to cancel that pre-order. This is a really great figure. Really good transformation. I've done it a few times now. I think this is really an axe, but I like to have it folded up here and it looks like a shield. I like the way that looks. He's got these things here flip up, and I thought that was nice. My biggest complaint about this whole figure is the head. The head is so tight on here, and it will kind of move it back and forth, but the peg that it's on, which now I can't get it off, but it was coming off easily before. The peg that it's on is like so short. There's like no neck. So it's really hard to manipulate the head, and it's really annoying. I think as I've been doing it, it's getting looser, but it was just really annoying at first. He does have a matrix that does come out, so that's cool. All in all, this is a really, really fun figure. And, as I've shown on the podcast before, I'm very much a fan of this style. I have the RID Scourge here, which is, I've never had a Laser Optimus Prime before this one, but I think they did a really good job of recreating the G1 Laser Optimus Prime mold with the Legacy. And then he does have a trailer, which is really cheap filling, but it does what it needs to do. There is a little claw thing here, and then it opens up to form like a little base. And then one of the turrets here on the back can pop out, this one here. But I don't know. It's a very kind of cheap looking. There's like nothing really to it. The G1 or the RD 2001 here looks much better. It's all shiny, but I imagine there's going to be a Toy Hack set for this that'll make it look a lot better, but it feels really cheap.
Mm.
But
too bad it's $750.
Yeah, at least it's not $750. But all in all, I'm really happy with this. I'm going to keep him in robot mode, so the trailer's just going to sit there. And this is really good, solid feeling. And there was something else I was going to say about him. I don't know. It just, I'm really happy with the figure.
What about the thought? Remember when John Paul was on the show and he mentioned something about each figure coming with like this Energon accessory? Does obviously the sword and the shield you've got there all look like they're Energon? What about Dragstrip? Does Dragstrip have something that's Energon-esque?
No.
Okay.
I think Blitzwing is the first one we've really seen with it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, here's the box for Dragstrip. He mentions that he's 1 of 5.
Yeah.
And they all have that new QR code.
Mm-hmm.
But that's it. So, maybe it is just the leader class.
Bigger guys?
Yeah. So, I don't know. But all in all, it was like a nice surprise from Hasbro. So thank you, Hasbro. And I'm looking forward to seeing what's in the other box that should be here tomorrow. So next week I'll show that off.
All right. That will do it. Thanks, everyone. And again, we'll remind you that you can help us out by becoming a Donatron and subscribing at transmissionspodcast.com/support. That can help us out. You can also leave us feedback. Go to transmissionspodcast.com/feedback. That's where you can leave us voicemails, emails, contact us on social media. And we really appreciate getting all the feedback, and we like responding to it. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye, all.
Later.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Transmissions. If you'd like to join the conversation, travel to our Discord channel at transmissionspodcast.com/Discord. Want some cool transmission swag? Feast your eyes on our transmissions gear at transmissionspodcast.com/shop. If you'd like to support our podcast, go to transmissionspodcast.com/support or tell your friends about our show. We'll see you next time.